Hi viewers, welcome to my channel. Today I will make you to learn some of the most important MCQ questions in object oriented programming along with the exception handling mechanism in order to qualify in the INPITQ examination. And coming to the first question here, what is the output of the given code? What is the output of the given code? Here within the code we have one function is there. The function name itself is fun and it has two parameters, input underscore list comma index. Without invocation of this function it is not at all coming into the picture. If you want to call one function, if you want to perform some operations with respect to that function means you have to invoke that function. Without invocation it will not at all coming into the picture. And from here to here the complete context is related to the function and we have to invoke this function. Before going to invoke, I am trying to invoke the function within the try block. The try block related except block is available. I have provided two except blocks with respect to the given try block as well as one finally block is also there. Now within the try block I have taken one list. The name of the list itself is list1. Within that we have some elements are there, 2 4 6 2 8. This is the list. Within that 2 4 6 2 8 are the elements that are available in the list. The list index position will be starting from 0 onwards, 0 1 2 3 4. The last index of the list is 4 and we have taken one more list. The list name itself is list2 and within this list2 we are calling the function, whatever the function that is available we are calling that function. And for that function, while at the time of calling this function it has two parameters, and due to that reason I am passing list1 as a first parameter. That means whatever the elements that are available in the list, that entire reference will be I am passing to the function, as well as comma the index of the list I am passing 4 as the index. The index is 4 and the list is 2 4 6 2 8. 6 is the character. Now while at the time of interpreting this line it will coming to do this function, and within this function now it has two parameters. The first parameter is input underscore list. Within that this is the list that is available. These are the list of elements, 2 4 6 is the character, 2 8, as well as index of that whatever the index that we have passed, 4 is the index that will be available here. Now within this function we have one more try block is there. That respect to except blocks are there, as well as one finally block is there. As per the exception handling mechanism, what is the main purpose of the exception handling mechanism? In order to control the flow of execution, if is there any abnormal termination happening means we need to handle with the care. For that purpose we need to take the assistance of exception handling mechanism. The exception handling mechanism will provide you the complete control mechanism to handle the exceptions. If is there any unwanted exception is rising within your code means we can handle with the care with the help of exception handling mechanism. And within that we have three important keywords are there: try, except, finally. And try is meant for in order to provide whatever the code that we are expecting the exception that we have to provide within the try block. And within the except block, that error related messages we have to handle. And finally, irrespective of the exception may rise or may not rise, that is secondary. Irrespective of that exception, definitely the finally block will be executed. Whatever the code that we are providing in the finally block, it will definitely coming into the picture. Now within the function we have provided one try block, and within the try block we have taken one output list. It is a empty list, output list, and the length of that output list is 0 into the length of input list. Actually the length of the input list is 1 2 3 4 5. The length of the input list is 5, so that the output list will be created with the length 5. That means we have to take 5 blocks, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5, 5 blocks, and that too for each and every block we are assigning 0. We have created one output list. It is a 0 list for each and every element that we are assigning here 0, and the length of this output list is the length of the input list. The length of the input list is 5. Due to that reason the length of the output list is also 5, and within this output list all the elements are zeros only. Why? Because we are multiplying the length of the size of the list with zeros. That means you will get all the zeros in the output list, output underscore list, it is the output list. Okay, now coming to the next line, within the output list as per the given index position, the index that is available is 4. That means in the output list, let me provide the index positions for the output list. This is the 0th index position, this is the first index position, second index position, as well as third and fourth index position. Let me try to provide one more index position, fourth index position. Now, as per this line, within the output list, with respect to the given index position, the index is 4. That means within the output list, within this index position, we are trying to store something. What is that something means? We have to evaluate this expression. And coming to this expression, input underscore list of index position. Input underscore list in the sense this is the list. Within that list, whatever the element that is available in this fourth index position, the element that is available in the fourth index position is 8. 8 by int of, that means we are converting this entire thing into integer, input underscore list of index plus 1. Actually the index value is 4. 4 plus 1 in the sense you will get 5. 4 plus 1 in the sense you will get 5 here. But unfortunately there is no index position 5 that is available with respect to the index and input underscore list. Why? Because in the input underscore list totally we have 5 elements are there, and the maximum index position of that fifth element is 4 only. But we are trying to get the element from the input list with respect to the fifth index position, but there is no fifth index position that is with respect to the input underscore list. Due to that reason, in this line, especially within this line, you will get index error, and as per that index error, it will check is there any, why? Because we are providing this code within the try block. It will check is there any except block which is having index error, but unfortunately we have two except blocks are there. For the first except block we have value error, it is not at all related to index error, and within the second except block we have zero division error, it is also not at all related to the index error. That means these two except blocks are not at all coming into the picture. Finally, irrespective of the exception, the try block corresponding finally will definitely execute, but unfortunately we are unable to execute this except blocks. Why? Because none of the except block are related to the index error. Due to that reason we are unable to execute these two except blocks, and finally the finally block will be executed. The first message that we are going to get here is end of the function. We need to check out of all the 4 available options, in which option we are having the first statement is end of the function. In the first option there is no end of the function as a first statement. Due to that reason it is a invalid option. And coming to the second option also, the first statement is not at all end of the function, it is also wrong answer. And coming to the third option, end of the function is available, it is the expected answer. And in the last option also end of the function is available, it is also the accepted right answer. And coming to, whenever we are unable to identify the related exception within the except block, the complete execution will complete it, and it will come outside of this entire function, and the control flow will be entering here at the end of this line. And at the end of this line it will carrying one exception. What is that exception? That is invalid exception, invalid index exception. And that too, this entire function calling is providing within the try block. That means it will check is there any except block which is with respect to the index invalid index exception. Yes, in the first except block, unfortunately it is related to the type error, it is not at all related to the invalid index exception, it will not at all coming into the picture. And it will check is there any another except block is there. Yes, we have one more except block is there. In this except block we are handling index error. Due to that reason, as per this try block, from after completion of this entire function execution, we are returning with one exception. That exception will be handling in this except block. Why? Because this except block is especially meant for index error, and we have already got that index error in this respective line. Due to that reason, that will be handled in this except block. And coming to the next message that we are going to get here is invalid index. We need to check in the both C and D options, the second line should be invalid index. But unfortunately within the C option it is invalid type, it is not at all right option. And here in the D option the second line is invalid index, it is the right option. And finally, irrespective of the exception in this try block, it may be rising or it may not rising, the compulsory execution block will be finally block. And at the end of this execution of this entire program, the finally block will be executed. Within the finally block, end of the program statement is available, and within the D option that will be available. That means that the 3 lines are correct in the D option. Out of all the 4 options, the right option is D option. It is very simple. Be careful while at the time of attempting these type of questions. You should have some basic idea related to the exception handling mechanism, and you should know how to flow the control flow of execution from try block to accept block, so that how to execute the finally block. That all the things you have to have some basic idea. Thank you. With this, I hope you understood the concept. And coming to the next question, what is the output of the given code below? We have one class is there. The class name itself is invalid length exception, and it is deriving from the one of the exception class, that is exception. It is a predefined class in the Python, and within this class nothing is available. Simply we are passing one pass statement here. And we have one more class is available. The class name itself is myAce. Within this class we have one parameterizer constructor is available and one user defined method is available. The method name itself is check_ace. And coming to the execution flow, here from here onwards the execution will start. First we are creating the object of the class and we are storing that in the resultant variable. It is the reference of the class myAce. And while at the time of creating the object of myAce class, we are calling the parameterizer constructor. That means whatever the value that we are passing, that will be passing to the parameterizer constructor of the myAce class. And within this parameterizer constructor, within this myAce, we have one instance variable is there. The instance variable name itself is self.ace. Within that self.ace, whatever the value that we are passing, 9 we are passing, that will be available in the A, and we are assigning that A value to the self.ace. That means here within the self.ace you will get 9. And coming to the next line, we have provided try and accept blocks. Within this try block, we are providing m dot. With the help of the reference variable that is available with respect to the myAce class, we are calling m dot checkAce. CheckAce is the instance method. That's why we are calling it with the help of the object of the myAce class. And whenever we are calling this m dot checkAce, it will invoke the function checkAce. Now the control flow will be entering into the checkAce method. Within the checkAce method, we have one more try block is there, that respect to accept block is available. And at the end of the method, we are printing one simple statement, that is print inside the class. Okay. Now within this try block, if self.ace, actually within the self.ace, the value that is available is 9. If the 9 is less than 18, as condition is true, that's why it will enter into the if condition. Within the if condition, we are raising an exception. What is that exception? Invalid length exception. And it will check, is there any except block which is handling that invalid exception. It is not at all entering into the else block. It will check, is there any invalid exception that is available in the accept block. Yes, it is available. It will transfer the control to this accept block. Within this accept block, whatever the message that we are printing, not eligible inside the class, that will be printed first. We need to check out of all the 4 options in which option we are having that not eligible inside the class. In the B option and as well as in the D option we are having that message, and the remaining 2 options are not at all correct options. We can eliminate them. And after completion of the execution of this accept block, the control flow will be transferring to the end of the function. Within the end of the function check_ace, we have one more print statement is there. It is not at all available in the accept block. It is out of the accept block. That means it is inside the function. Due to that reason, at the end of the function you will get inside the class message. The second message that we are getting here is inside the class. We need to check out of B and D option, in which option we are having inside the class message. So within the B option we are having, within the D option we are not at all having that message. Due to that reason, it is also the wrong answer. Already three options were eliminated: A option, C option, as well as D option. The right option is B option. We will check how to print the last statement. After end of this entire function, the control flow will be navigating to, and it will come into this area. And here, after this line, it will print very simple message outside the class. This is the third message that we are getting from this entire code. The third message that is available in the B option. Yes, B option is the correct option. If you are unable to get any exception within this class, means the output will be somewhat different. That means if the age is greater than 18, that means it is not at all raising the invalid length exception. At that time, it will enter into the else block. Within the else block, the message that we are going to get here is eligible for the vote. And after printing this message, it will coming into the end of the function. Within the end of the function, you will get the message inside the class, as well as after coming outside of this entire function, you will get outside the class. Like that, the control flow navigation will be happening. I think you got the complete clarity regarding this question. All of you, please be careful while at the time of attempting these kind of questions. Thank you. Now coming to the next program, what is the output of the code given below? Here in this code also, we have one class is there. The class name itself is invalid length exception, and it is deriving from the main class exception class. And within this class, nothing is available. That's why we are passing from this class. And we have one more class is there. The class name itself is myAge. Within that, we have one parameterizer constructor is available, and one instance method is available. Now, without invoking this instance method as well as parameterizer constructor, those are not at all coming into the picture. Now coming to the execution flow, first, while at the time of creating the object of myAge class, we are calling the parameterizer constructor, and that we are passing 5 as the value to the parameterizer constructor. And it will transfer the control flow to the parameterizer constructor. Within the parameterizer constructor, within the myAge class, we have one instance variable is there. The variable name itself is self.age. And for that self.age, whatever the value that we are passing, 5, that will be available in the A, that will be assigning to the self.age. That means the age of this myAge class will become 5. It will become 5. And the object that is with respect to the myAge class is M. And coming to the next line, we have try and except block mechanism is there, exception handling mechanism is there. That means the method invocation, whatever the method that is available, check case, the method invocation is happening within the try block. That means is there any error that is happening in the my check as method, definitely that will be handling with the help of this try except mechanism. Now coming to the method invocation, with the help of the object of myAge class, we are calling check underscore age. Why? Because it is an instance method, we need object. Due to that reason only, with the help of object, we are calling this check age. And coming to the execution flow of this check underscore age, within the check underscore age, the first condition that is available, if self.age, actually the self.age value is 5 is always less than 18. That means the condition will be true and it will enter into the if condition. Within the if condition, we are simply raising one exception. The exception name itself is invalid length exception. But unfortunately, there is no try catch block mechanism within the check underscore age method, and that too, this method invocation is from some other block which is handling the exceptions, that is nothing but try block. Due to that reason, again, while at the time of raising this exception, the control flow navigation come into this try block, and it will check is there any except block that is available with respect to the invalid length exception. As we have the except block is there in order to handle the exception that was rising in the check underscore age method. And now the execution control flow will be entering into the invalid length exception except block, and within that, whatever the message that is available, that will be printed. The message that is available is not eligible outside of the class. This is the only message that we are going to get here, and the remaining all the statements are not at all printing. Out of all the 4 options, we need to check only one line output is available, that is not eligible outside the class. In the D, we have that message. Due to that reason, D is the right option, remaining all are wrong options. Be careful. It is very simple question. Please be careful while at the time of attempting this question. Thank you. Now coming to the next question, what is the output of the code given below? Here in this code also, we have invalid length exception class is available, which is deriving from the exception class. Within that nothing is available. We are simply passing from this invalid length exception class. And we have one more class is there, myAce class. Within this class we have one parameterizer constructor is available. Along with the parameterizer constructor we have one instance method, user defined instance method is there, and along with that instance method we have one print statement is also there within the class level. It is not at all belonging to the user defined method check underscore ace. It is in the class level. Try to observe the indentation. It is in the class level. While at the time of interpretation of this program, within the class we have the print statement is directly available in the class. Due to that reason, the first and foremost line that we are going to get. Why? Because without invocation of this check underscore as instance method as well as this parameterizer constructor, those are not at all coming into the picture. While at the time of interpretation of this entire class, this constructor will be interpreted, but it is not at all executable. Why? Because at the time of creation of the object only it will be coming into the picture, as well as if is there any user defined function or predefined function that is available in the class, without invocation of that predefined or user defined function, that function is also not at all coming into the picture. Due to that reason, those will be interpreted. Both the constructor and method will be interpreted. The function will be interpreted, but we are unable to execute them. And coming to this line, it will be directly a print message, and it will print the message here. And the message that is available is inside the class. That will be the first message that we have to get. Try to check all the four options, in which option we are having that inside the class message. First option is not at all having that first message. In the second option we are having that message. That means it will be the expected answer. And coming to the third option, there is no inside the class message as the first message. In the D option also it is not at all available. That means out of all the four options, I think B is the right option. Let us check remaining all the things also, remaining the complete code in the program. Now the execution flow. Now while at the time of creating the object of the class, the object reference is m. While at the time of creating the object of the class, at that time the parameterizer constructor will be coming into the picture. Why? Because at the time of creating the object of myAce class, we are passing one parameter, so that the parameterizer constructor will be coming into the picture. Within the parameterizer constructor, we are passing 9 that will be available in A, and that will be assigned to the one of the instance variable of the class myAce, and here now the self.age will become 9. Now after completion of this execution of the parameterizer constructor, the control flow will be coming into the end of this line. And coming to the next line, try block, and we are having exception handling mechanism try along with the except. Within the try block, we are invoking the check underscore as method. We are invoking the check underscore as function with the help of the reference variable m. Within this reference variable, we are having the object of myAce class, and that too within the myAce check underscore as is the instance method. It is the object specific method. Without having the object of the class, it is not possible to call. That's why we are creating the object of the class. And now while at the time of executing this line, the instance method that is available in the myAce will be coming into the picture. And within this instance method, we have one more try and except block mechanism is there. And within the try block, if self.age, actually the self.age is 9, 9 less than age, 9 less than 18, as it is right answer, the condition is true, so that it will enter into the if condition. Within the if condition, we are raising invalid length exception. It will check is there any invalid length exception related except block is available with respect to the try block or not. Yes, it is available. Due to that reason, it will enter the control flow to this except block, and within this except block, whatever the message that is available not eligible inside the class, that will be printed. Not eligible for the inside class will be printed as a second message. And next, it will not at all print this print message. Why? Because at the time of interpretation of this entire code, the first message that we got is inside the class. It is in the class level context. That's why already we got that output as a first line. And now the control flow mechanism will be transferred to this outside of the class and at the end of this method invocation. And after completion of this method invocation, the complete method execution has been already completed. Due to that reason, the next line that we are going to get here is print outside the class. That is the output that we are going to get. The third message is outside the class. It is very simple. Be careful. Here the print message is not at all available in the inside the check underscore is, it is available in the class level context. At the due to that reason only, at the time of interpreting with the help of Python interpreter, from the top to bottom, while at the time of interpreting line by line, the first and foremost message that we are getting here is inside the class. If it is available within the method itself, means without invocation of that method, this message will not print. But unfortunately or fortunately, it is outside of the method context. It is available in the class level context. That's why the first message that we are going to get here is inside the class. If it is available within this check underscore message, means first you will get not eligible inside the class. After that you will get inside the class message, and finally you will get outside the class method. Already we have seen the same example with that execution flow in the previous program. Thank you. With this you got the complete idea. Now coming to this question, we have to identify the what is the output for the below code. Within this class also, within this program also, we have one important class is the invalid length exception, which is deriving from the main exception class exception. And within this class nothing is available, that's why we are passing pass statement. And coming to the next class, we have myAge is the another class. Within this myAge, here we have one parameterizer constructor is there, as well as one user defined method is there. The method name itself is check underscore age. It is a instance method without object reference. It is unable to coming into the picture. With the help of object of the myAge class only, we are going to invoke this check underscore age method or function. And along with this function, we have one more line is there, which is in the class level context. That line is print message, that is inside the class, and it is not at all available within the inside the method or within the constructor. It is in the class level context. All of you please observe the indentation of this class. Due to that reason, while at the time of interpreting this entire program line by line with the help of Python interpreter, the first and foremost message that we are going to print is print message. It is in the class level context that will be directly printing. This is the first message. We need to check out of all the four options, in which option we are having inside the class message. In the first option, it is not at all available, it is wrong option. In the second option also, it is not at all available. Third option also not correct. Coming to the fourth option, definitely it will be the expected answer. The first message that we are getting here is inside the class. Now coming to the next line, while at the time of interpreting the next line, within the next line we are taking one reference variable m, and within that reference variable we are invoking, we are calling the parameterizer constructor of the class. That means we are creating the object of myAge class, while at the time of creating the myAge class object we are passing one parameter. The parameter value is 19, and in this line the parameterizer constructor of the class will be coming to the picture, and whatever the 19 value that we are passing, that will be available in the A, that will be setting to the one of the instance variable that is available in the class myAge is age. For this self dot age, now the value that we are getting here is 19. At the end of this line, the self dot age value will become 19. And coming to the next line interpretation, we have try and except block mechanism is there, and within the try block, with the help of the object reference that is available, we are invoking the instance method of the myAge class. The instance method name itself is check underscore age. In this line, the control flow navigation will be transferring to this my check underscore age function. Within the check underscore age function, we have one more try and except block mechanism is there, and within the try block we have provided one if condition. Within the if condition, self dot age, actually the self dot age with respect to the parameterizer constructor is 19. 19 is always less than 18. Condition fail here. Condition failing in the sense it will not enter into the if condition, it will enter into the else block. Within the else block, the next message that we are going to get here is eligible for the vote. We need to check whether the second message is eligible for the vote or not. Yes, the second message is eligible for the vote. After completion of this else block, the try related, there is no exception that we are finding with respect to the try block. That due to that reason, the except block will not at all come into the picture. But along with the try and except block, we have provided one more block, that the block is finally block. Irrespective of the exception that is rising in the try block, the finally block will definitely execute. It may be getting exception or may not getting exception. After completion of the try block and that related exception, if is there any exception, means that related except block will be executed. If there is no exception, means definitely the corresponding finally block will be executed. Due to that reason, the third message that we are going to get here is inside the finally block. Yes, we are getting it in the fourth option. And now we are at the end of the check underscore age function, and the control flow will be transferring from here to end of this line. And coming to the next statement that is available here is outside of the myAS class context is print outside the class. That is the message that we are getting. Why? Because with respect to this try block, in the method invocation we are not at all getting any exception, so that there is no problem. Normal flow of execution happened. Due to that reason, there is no exception, that is with respect to the try block that what we have provided in the outside of the class myAS. So the message that we are getting here is outside the class. That is the fourth message, and we are not at all executing except block. Why? Because there is no exception that is rising in this try block, so that there is no problem at all. Finally, the output is inside the class, eligible for the vote, inside the finally, outside the class. Be careful. It is very important. Along with the object oriented programming, if you want to handle the exceptions, it will be little bit difficult. You should have some basic idea related to exception handling mechanism as well as object oriented programming. Then only you can solve these kind of questions. I hope with this you got the complete idea regarding object oriented programming along with exception handling mechanism. Thank you one and all. If you like my video, all of you please try to subscribe to my channel. Ask your friends to subscribe to my channel. Thank you one and all.